Okay, now I get to talk about restatting, which is where you've finished all of your grinding and you've reached your personal ultimate level, and you decide to change your stats based on a war build or a build of your choice. At around level 50 or the 50s, you get a free restat card from a main story mission you kill this Griffin type thing. And what pretty much everyone does is they use that card to restat in their final build. The only way to get a restat card is to pay money in the item shop to get one, or to win it from the slot machine. So saving that restat card is important, although you could trade a restat card from one gear on your account to another, assuming you have membership. Anyway, the levels you can restat, once again the bravery list, he recommends 70 or 80. Which is good. My personal levels recommend are 73 and 80, and I'll explain why in just a second. When you restat, one thing to keep in mind is that you have to disequip all of your gear, including any marks you're wearing, to make sure that the card works. If you don't, then the card will say it'll fail, and you might freak out, but the card will still be there. And then, sort of like me, you'll realize like, oh hey, I forgot to disequip a mark or something like that. Anyway, restatting and why. The bravery recommends restatting at 70 for two reasons most likely. The first is that you get a nice CPU that goes to defense and spirit. In addition, you get 1k SP and loads and loads of defense. The deal for me though is that you'll want to restat minimum as M gear at 73. This is because you can get your version 4 Warpoint armor or Rigid Defender, and you can use it at that level, and that's like one of the best armors an M-Gear can use pretty much. So 73 is a good place to stop at if the grind really gets too much for you, and I pretty much hit that level shortly after 1 month of semi-casual play and grinding a bunch as an M-Gear. The other level I recommend doing is 80, and it's a level which a lot of gears restat at, because at level 80 you get a ton of buffs and new moves, which can help with your defense. Like for example, you get a new personal defense buff as an M gear. So you know, when you hit 80 you get that much more added to your defense, and also you're just an 8x M gear, and that's just plain awesome. You also get 1.4k SP or a high amount of 1.3k SP if you restat at 80. So the two levels I recommend are 73 and 80. It's because grinding gets so tough 80 beyond, you might as well just make yourself defense and spend your time warring a bunch and really have fun with the game. Beyond there, the grinding can get really insane. Other levels to park at for the M gear are level 83, where you're able to use what is it called? Oh my god, I haven't played in a while. It's Antimon. Anyhow, you get to use the 82 arrow missiles. That's one benefit. You also become a wing commander, which is an awesome title. And finally, the best benefit at level 83 for an gear is you get 1.5k SP, which means you get a ton of SP, and you also have maximized defense. Another level to park at is level 86, where you get a new engine that's faster than the counter here, 400 meters a second is faster than that. And another level to park at with M gear is level 88 if you're absolutely insane, where you can take a slot machine armor, add defense cards, and you can use the 88 version where your defense percentage just really spikes up. On a side note, every defense percentage you get beyond 100%, it adds much more than the previous percents from before. At least that's what I've heard. So any extra points you get can be really helpful. So that's it about restatting, really. Just my recommendations, and again, the Bravery has a good guide for that. A quick addendum though, I was planning on making a short or relatively short grinding and gear video, but the Bravery guide, the Bravery's guide, I'll just recommend it. It has everything you need there to know about grinding. I will add a couple of quick notes, however. The first note is Hornian King habitat. When it mentions that, you can access it through Edmont Valley if you're ANI, and I believe you can access it through Talent Jungle if you're BCU. I'm not entirely sure actually, any clarification would be good. But anyway, that's a zone which you can only access if you happen to win the last Mothership War. Even if you lose a Mothership War near that time, if you win at least one Mothership War, you'll have access to Horny and Keen Habitat for a month. The same goes for the EOP zone unless they've changed it. Another thing to clarify is at level 50 plus, you can access the Denebula map to grind in. It's part of what's called the moon maps. You go to the moon basically. The equivalent for Denebula is Caster, and that's for BCU. And as you can tell, I'm ANI because I'm talking about ANI maps mainly and not thinking about the other ones. But yeah, anyway, that's a grinding option, quite good. The next map in line, away from Caster, there's lots of missiles there. It can be tough for attack build, but with the 0-speed engine, yourself on the edge of the map, there's a high Goldie spawn rate there, so you can get lots of A-type or B-type shield kits quite quickly, so that's a nice option as well for your grinding. Your main grinding, though, will be done the 40s and the Harameza relic site if you're ANI, and another map if you're BCU. 50s, Denebula, 60s, Island Stream, and Chaos. Yep. Man, not playing for 2 months can hurt. But yeah, Chaos at 68 plus is good. Both Chaos and Denebula are accessed after doing story missions or doing them. And in fact, you get a Chaos mission map, which you can save, and when you enter it, you can choose not to complete it, and there's a higher monster spawn rate. Unfortunately, you have a extremely high chance of running into bad guys there. One final option, which can be very rare for grinding, is once you reach 7x and grinding gets tough, you can have a B gear power level you in with the G-Arc ship on what's called the wall. It's a wall of turrets and missiles and stuff. If you manage to find a friend or something like that, you can help you there. Or if you pay a B gear with SPI to help you, that's one final option. As for gear and weapons, doesn't really matter too much early levels. Once you get 30s and 40s, you will want to use holy crosses and arrows. E-drills can be quite good as well if they have nice stats. You want weapons towards the 100% probability. If you do enchant weapons, like up to E5, put it into probability. Prefixes and probability is good. Your standard weapons, in the later levels, you'll want to use drums, gins, and baits. I won't go too in-depth in that. I might talk about equipment later, but it's pretty straightforward. Anyhow, thanks for watching this set of videos. My next video will involve M-Gear piloting skills, freaking finally. So I get to show you those sorts of things, so you know the basics of how to fly an M-Gear. Thanks for watching, and fly safe.